Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. It's Alyssa here, and on today's video we're going to be going over the latest news for Virtua Fighter. Okay, so end of last year at the Game Awards, Sega shocked the world by showing people the trailer for a brand new Virtua Fighter game, which seemingly came out of nowhere. Alright, so at the moment there's like two names, either it's called Virtua Fighter 6 or maybe it's just called Virtua Fighter. We need to understand like later on which name might be happening, but for now a timeline of events sort of goes like this. So they announced at the Game Awards that this game was happening, alright, and then first week of January we had at CES the Nvidia head honcho Jensen Huang was talking about the new Nvidia chipset and also talking about the involvement of Sega, and then out of nowhere they played a clip of Virtua Fighter Remix, and he was talking about the relationship with Sega. Now after that clip they played one immediately afterwards, which was something we'd never seen before. This was a new concept video of Virtua Fighter. Right, so this literally had like no prompting, no one knew anything about this, and it was just dropped. I don't know what the marketing of Sega were doing, but maybe they're just trying to like keep relevant and just get little bits of information out. But either way, this clip did not last very long at all. I think it was like, for about like 10 seconds. And then thought, what's going on? Okay, so after the event now like Sega sort of like released like the official gameplay concept, okay, like the full video. Full video isn't even that long, it's literally like 30 odd seconds. So what we're going to do, we're going to react to that right now, and I'll give you my thoughts and opinions, and we'll also catch up on some other bits as well about Virtua Fighter. But as you know, I'm very excited about Virtua Fighter because Virtua Fighter was like one of the first fighting games I ever played, and also it was like the first 3D fighting game that I owned as well, back on sort of the old Sega Saturn days. So it was absolutely amazing. Alright, so let's get on with this. Let's have a look at this and let's find out what's going on with this gameplay concept footage of Virtua Fighter. Let's do it. Oh, looks like look at the textures. Okay, so we've got two Akiras fighting, like two different costume styles. And this is very dynamic. This is like some really good like choreography going on. It looks so beautiful. Gosh. Unbelievable. So we've gone from looking at like a very tiny snippet at the Game Awards, which was like in a very small window, if you can remember, and it wasn't very clear or everything, but you could see what was going on, and you could see that there was definitely some gameplay happening between Akira and what looked like Sarah at the time. Okay, so before we have this event, there was an actual leak circulating the internet of two Akiras fighting, and it seemed like it was taken from this actual footage. Crazy, like for like, it's like the same thing. Other than on the original leaked photo, there was some energy bars or meters, as people referring to them as, and some people were concerned, saying, why does Virtua Fighter have meters? And so there's a lot of people who are upset with Tekken 8 at the moment because of how heat works and everything, and they're calling, some people are calling Tekken like an anime fighter, and some people like the more like traditional fighters where there's no weaponry and there's no like fancy gimmicks. It's all very subjective. I just like fighting games full stop, so I don't really have a horse in the race. But what I can tell you is that like there was definitely a space when I was a lot younger for a lot more of these developers, a lot more of these companies to actually like produce like these types of games. They used to have like way more 3D fighting games than there are now, and so the market's like shrunk quite a bit. I think like we all should be trying to work together and get people to play all the games. Like you should be buying like all the 3D fighting games that come out. To be honest, like if you like them, you should be supporting them if you like fighting games. But some people have their preferences, and then secondary to that is like they like fighting games sort of thing. So it's a bit weird. I just love fighting games, so I have trouble sometimes understanding people who say, well, I'll never play that game. Like, why don't you play it and give it a go? You never know, you might like it. Anyway, so moving on from that, so the leaked photo was like for like this one, minus the meters. But the thing is, like this leaked photo, it's just got on the screen at the moment. This was actually from like May last year, and it was leaked on a Discord. Okay, so it's weird how like it recirculated conveniently right after the Game Awards. So in this time period between like the New Year, where like nothing was really being announced, and it was the shutdown for the holidays and things like that, it was kind of like crazy how like all of a sudden people on Twitter, or X if you call it that, were like, what's this about Virtua Fighter? Why does it have a meter? And the photo isn't very clear and we don't really know what's going on. It was very confusing. This kind of clarifies that, which ironically came like a week later after all of this stuff. So it's kind of interesting how that happened. So as you can see, like from this footage, there are no meters. The other thing is like, I want to say like Sega know how to listen to their fans. If you look at something of recent, like the Sonic movie and like the original incarnations of Sonic, whether or not that was Sega's art direction or Paramount's, but they changed it because of the backlash. Now I don't think that they would. One of their flagship titles, I don't think they want to mess this up. If you've got people on Twitter, on social media, saying that they don't want meters in Virtua Fighter, I don't think there'll be meters in Virtua Fighter. I think they'll be able to read the room a bit. And maybe the recirculation of that leaked footage was kind of like another clear message that they are listening to people. Now, I can't really speak for other companies, whether or not they listen to the fans, but what I've realised is, seeing this happen like over the years, like fans will give backlash, right? They will have backlash if they don't like something. And so you kind of got to give them what they want. At the same time, I know it's these the upper echelons who work for these companies, like the board directors. Sometimes they're very far removed from actually playing the game and enjoying the game, and a lot of these companies need to make money. And you would have heard this a lot about Clive being in Tekken 8, Clive Rosefield, because of the whole Final Fantasy thing, and the ties with Namco and everything. And so sometimes decisions are made higher up, which the people on like the lower levels don't really get to decide like what happens. It's just one of those things. So it's like a push and pull thing. So I say that because I do feel that Sega would want to avoid any kind of like bad publicity or bad press about Virtua Fighter, because it's still very much part in production. It's works in progress. And I do think how they've done it is, we'll probably see some Virtua Fighter news like every month until it comes out as like a beta or something. So you will definitely see that. Also, we've got Revo coming out at the end of this month. Like literally like end of the month it does drop. Okay, Revo does. So Virtua Fighter Revo, that's on Steam. It has 4K graphics. It has robot netcode. It has all these extra bits and pieces. And I think that's going to get a lot of interest for Virtua Fighter. You've also seen announced that Virtua Fighter 5 is going to be at EVO. So that's another big thing, because back on the tournament scene, I know they were pushing like the esports scene a bit like a few years ago. So basically, like there's a few things going on. So Sega like want to make sure that people don't forget about Virtua Fighter. So you're going to hear about it. Either it's something news related to like the latest Virtua Fighter project, or Virtua Fighter 6 as some are calling it, or it's going to be Virtua Fighter 5 Revo, which is going to be coming out at the end of January. But either way, I think there's going to be lots of Virtua Fighter news, like every couple of weeks or so. I think there's going to be some news about something, which keeps it relevant and keeps it interesting. Alright, so that's like my reaction to the actual gameplay trailer. Was like, I was gobsmacked, to be honest with you. Like, it looked amazing. The choreography was beautiful, and I also think that it was really well done in terms of like the background, the scenery. It was very atmospheric, very like Kung Fu Hustle vibes kind of thing going on. You can imagine, like being knocked over into like some of the stores and everything, and interacting with like the audience in the background. Graphics looking beautiful, and I do think that people are saying like, oh well, it's choreographed and only a concept. I don't think Sega would release something if the finished product wasn't anything near this. I do think that they know how to put things together, and I'll be surprised if like what we see on the final version is worse than this. So to do like a comparison, when I was watching the Tekken 8 initial trailer with like Jin and Kazuya fighting, like the demonstration one, like that one looked amazing. Like when it came to actually fighting in the game, it did look a bit different. It was reduced down a bit, and I did find it not as smooth. But that's what happens, isn't it? But I do think Sega, on the other hand, though, might be capable, and they probably wouldn't be willing to put out this little concept if the final thing wasn't like polished sort of thing. So fingers crossed it's going to look something like this. Even if it's remotely like this, I'd be very happy. Like, I don't want to see like any like mad explosions or any like crazy weapons and things like that. Like, I think that's fine. This one, I don't know, Virtua Fighter for me seems more like a traditional fighter. I do love martial arts. That's like my initial reason why I like fighting games. Like, I just love to see like martial arts. This looks like real martial arts. Okay, so I've got this up, which is from a YouTube channel called Vdecide. Okay, so I would recommend that you do drop them a follow and show some support. This video is awesome. So what they've done is they've done a comparison to that video concept trailer that we've just seen for the new Virtua Fighter. Alright, and they've compared that to Dragons Forever, which is a Jackie Chan film from 1988. So you might recognise a couple of the moves in it. Have a look at this. This is absolutely fantastic. Oh my goodness. It's absolutely incredible. I mean, like, it's literally like for like. It's absolutely crazy. It's absolutely ridiculous. If you want to see the full video, please make sure you click the link in the description and show some support, but that's absolutely fantastic. Okay, so the other thing that I want to make reference of is this one. So it's really strange, like, so we've seen what the leak looked like, we've seen this video, we've seen the actual comparison to where they may have got the choreography from, or it might be loosely based on. Okay, so moving on to this one, like, so right after the Game Awards there was something called the VF Direct that was presented by Sega, and it had the new team responsible, and you had a lot of old faces who worked on the previous games as well, and you even had the legend Yu Suzuki. Alright, so in this they were showing off a few character models of the game. Let's have a look at this. Absolutely, like, beautiful. So this is Akira, like a new look. And this is they're calling her Stella, looks a lot like Sarah. And this is that footage. So it's crazy because, like, we're just getting like more Virtua Fighter. This is right after when they announced at the Game Awards, like, the trailer. So this was like the first time that we're seeing like some of the models close up. So combine that with like the concept clip that we saw. Like, Akira already has like 3 skins, which is absolutely crazy. Anyway, so Stella or Sarah, whoever it might be, like, they are looking amazing as well. And this is just like a work in progress, so this is why I'm so excited about it. I personally feel like we're looking at something more polished, like the concept trailer that we've just seen at the beginning for the actual like gameplay itself. I think it's going to be something more like that, and I think they can confidently put that out there because maybe, like, it's just running so smooth. I hope so. I really do hope so. I really hope that it runs like that. And so, as you can see, like, this game is already in this, like, you know, pre-production phases. It's looking beautiful. It's looking really detailed. It's looking amazing, and I'm definitely all for it. Like, Akira's like new look he's looking just reminds me of like Moonwalk or something, like a little MJ reference. Like, it's looking really good. And I'm loving like the atmosphere of it. It's like sort of back to basics. It's pure martial arts. It's street fighting. It's all that kind of thing. Okay, so what we talked about is the initial like concept trailer at the beginning. We then talked about the comparison video from the new Virtua Fighter to the Jackie Chan movie. Alright, and then we've looked at the new character models that was featured in the first VF Direct. So where do we go from here? So yeah, so this is looking like really awesome at the moment, and as you can tell, we're going to be delving like headfirst into some Virtua Fighter content. So I'm going to be streaming a lot more Virtua Fighter 5 Revo when it comes out, and also I'm going to be working on some more content in general about news about Virtua Fighter 6 or this new Virtua Fighter project that's coming out. I can't wait for it. It's going to be amazing. I really do think overall it's very healthy for the FGC and also for fighting games in general. I do think anyone that's got Tekken 8 should be playing Virtua Fighter as well, and they should have a character that they can have some kind of affinity to and just get into it, because I do think it's like a really good game. Like historically it's like a fun game. Just like how I'm enjoying like Tekken, and in the previous years I've enjoyed like Soul Calibur, Guilty Gear, like Street Fighter, all these I just love fighting games. That's the thing. I love fighting games a lot, and I don't really have like a crazy preference as long as I just enjoy like the gameplay and everything. So I'm very much looking forward to when this game comes out and any more details that we've got. Okay, so that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. A bit more of a sort of a deeper analysis and my thoughts on it. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you like the content, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much.